What's going on, guys? This is part 2 of yours truly, Disorderly Product News on the Pop Brothers Attorney at Law iHeartRadio's podcast. On the screen right there is part 1. If you have not seen part 1, go in the description, hit the link, and watch it because it's one continuous conversation that I split up in 2 parts. But this is part 2. So where we left off, older brother Mark had just been pulled over, and he's thinking whether he's going to invoke the script or not. They pulled him over for no headlights. Well, let's let him explain. Here's part 2 in the Pop Brothers Attorneys at Law. We're going to get into DUI stops, my connection to the Chicago outfit, and much, much more. Stay tuned.
I actually had to do it on a potential DUI stop that I got pulled over for. And I sat there when they came up to the car going, fuck, am I going to do this? This is 5-6 years ago, maybe. Am I really going to do this? And they stand at the window. They got their vest on. They look like they're 8 feet fucking tall. Why'd you pull me over? Your lights were out. Well, okay. I go, fucking valet. They caught me coming out of a restaurant.
Oh,
that sucks. And they turned off my auto lights. So I go, fucking valet, and I pop on my auto lights. Oh, so you've been drinking tonight? And that's where I just dug in with, if I say 1, I'm going to jail, because I probably had 3 or 4. If I said, okay, I'll do field sobriety test, the blow thing, I might have 0.08 or more, but I was no way impaired. I pulled out. The only reason I got pulled over was my lights were out. Yeah. And I took that and I said, I'm not discussing my night. And he yelled at me. Ultimately, I said, am I being detained or am I free to go? You're being detained. Get out of the car. So I complied, got out of the car, locked the door, put my keys in my pocket. They wanted me to do a field sobriety test. I said no. I politely declined those. Well, we're just trying to do our job, and they scream and yell at you, and you're not cooperating. And finally, I said, am I being detained or am I free to go? You know, and they said, you're free to go. And they never, I didn't even get the ticket for the lights being off.
Well, now, is there not an automatic license suspension for refusing?
I'm glad you asked that. In California, we say Google any other state. In California, pre-arrest field sobriety tests, which includes the on-site breathalyzer. Pre-arrest, that includes a field sobriety test, touch your nose, walk fucking backwards on one fucking leg. That's pre-arrest. Those are voluntary. And we've Googled that, and in many, many states, it's voluntary. Once you're arrested in California, then you have to do blood, breath, or urine, or you lose your license for a year. After you're arrested, people get confused the field sobriety test and what you just said.
That's good. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to have to look that up now because I'm
telling you, in every state that we've Googled,
different in every state, though, right? Yeah.
I can't say that I've looked it up in every state, but in every single state we've Googled it, especially the whole Western United States, it's come up. It's voluntary, pre-arrest, pre-arrest.
And I'm in Illinois, and it's always been taught to me that once you decline that field sobriety test, automatic the Secretary of State takes your license for a year.
Look that up because it might be.
I'm definitely going to look it up.
For declining taking the test there.
On the spot, all that bullshit. It might be under that city or under that state, their DMV law. That's what they require. When you sign it, like when we sign ours, it says if I get arrested for this, then I promise to do one of these 3 things. That's part of getting your license. Yeah. But it doesn't say, the law is that it's voluntary and the cop's supposed to tell you it's voluntary.
Yeah.
And the way they do that is by saying, this will make it easier for you. Just help me out. You can do these and I can let you go. Knowing that sober, you can't pass those fuckers.
Yeah.
So look it up. Everybody that's listening out there, Google it in your state. Are field sobriety tests mandatory or voluntary? Pre-arrest. That's very important. Pre-arrest.
Like in the reasonable suspicion stage when they're still trying to gain enough evidence that you're actually impaired.
Correct.
Well,
And
that goes up in those states. I want to get back to Reagan, some of your content that you have and how you get it, because that's what brought us to you. And where do you get your content that you're putting on Disorderly Product News on YouTube?
Everywhere. I'm in Chicago. I live in Chicago, all right? Chicago is the most segregated city in the country. So we do something we call guerrilla reporting. And what guerrilla reporting is, we get in the car, and I have 6 cameras in my car. And we turn on the scanner, and we just go to calls. 23 shots fired, 15th and Karloff. Officer involved shooting, Roosevelt and Central, you know, and we traffic stops. Funny thing is, no matter where they're at in the traffic stop, when me and my guy jump out with our cameras, the traffic stop seems to end 5 seconds later. You show up on the scene with a camera, the traffic stop's all of a sudden it's over. Everyone's left.
Are you Illinois Superman, so to speak?
No. I don't want to say I'm Illinois Superman.
You know, because that just sounds good by what you're saying. I would be like, fuck, Reagan, please show up to my traffic stop.
Oh, yeah, definitely the people there are very, 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 very happy that we show up. Because like I said, I'm the concrete constitutionalist, the concrete Johnny Cochran. Like, I'll just
Okay, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Fact or fiction?
Mm-hmm.
Our field sobriety tests mandatory in Illinois. What do you think without looking it up?
Are they mandatory?
Are they like you have, like I just said in California, they're not?
No.
So you don't have to do that field sobriety test?
No, because I have no obligation to participate in my own prosecution. I have no obligation to aid the police in their investigation of me.
So I just looked it up, and if you Google our field sobriety test required in Illinois, the answer on Google is no. How Illinois DUI laws do not require or penalize anyone for refusing field sobriety tests.
You got the answer right here quickly, too.
Yeah, I pulled it up. It was no field sobriety tests are not required.
They're not mandatory. So don't do them. So if you live in Illinois and you Google it yourself, don't. And it's like I'm saying.
Are you saying at any point? Pre-arrest, post-arrest?
The field, it's now what I'm reading to me is in California. This is where I'd have to look up a little more, okay? But in California, we know for sure the field sobriety test is not mandatory pre-arrest. But because of when you sign your license, you may have the same thing where if you're arrested, then you need to do the blood, breath, or urine, or you lose your license for a year. After you're arrested, they're not going to have to do the field sobriety test because that shit is just investigative. Yeah. So if you say no, they have to make a decision based on their observations, which was merely pulling you over for the traffic ticket.
But now does that include? Are they saying that you have to do it or else you get arrested, or does that include the Secretary of State taking your license away for a year?
Do you
understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean,
all I can say about what I just Googled.
Okay.
Is that if you get pulled over and at any point during the stop, before or after you're arrested, the way this reads to me on Google is you do not have to do the field sobriety test, and you are not penalized for not doing the field sobriety test. Now, if you are arrested and taken to jail, your state very may well have a requirement that you signed when you got your license saying, I'll do a blood, breath, or urine or lose my license for a year.
Now, let me ask you this, big brother. Regardless of what state you're in, can't you always use the defense of the Fifth Amendment? I don't have any obligation to be part and parcel of my own prosecution. I don't have to aid you, right? Can't you use that defense? Wouldn't the Constitution trump any state law?
That'd be a great argument, because that maybe is why, and maybe we'll have our intern Google every state, because maybe that's why every state we've Googled, it's voluntary. I haven't found one that's mandatory, but we don't comment on it.
It would be different if the DMV makes it mandatory, saying as you sign for this license,
you're doing a field sobriety test.
Yeah, so it might be different if the DMV suggests that, but I don't even think
it's the state law.
The state law, the DMV recommends it, and then if not, you lose your license.
But most likely, to Reagan's point, the reason it's not mandatory is because that would be mandating before you're arrested Because remember, when you're arrested, they have some kind of probable cause based on your slur, your smell, based on something you did to arrest you. Then you have to do the other, blood, breath, or urine in California. Yeah. So, but pre-arrest, how can you be mandated? And it's starting to make sense now why in the states we've looked at it's not mandatory. How can you be mandated to fuck yourself?
Yeah, you would be mandated to be a part of your own prosecution.
A witness against you, like if you can't walk straight or whatever. So it most likely would be mandatory in every state now that I think about it. But all we know is California and any other state, even though I'm reading it here on Google, disclaimer, I don't do California. I'll let Reagan follow up more on the
disclaimer is you do California law, and that's it. Not I do not.
Only
California laws.
California law.
Yeah. I think we just broke it. I think we just came up with something there, big bro. I think we just broke we broke it down. There it is.
Right. That's right.
We're going to come back. We're going to take a break right now. And Reagan, when we come back, I want to hear about the mobsters, the cartel. I want to hear stories on what you got involved with there. It's cannabis.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Welcome back to Cannabis Talk 101. We have Reagan, a social media influencer, investigating reporter.
Well, not a social media influencer. He's a.
No, you can call me a social media influencer.
Are you too? You think so?
Everybody's an influencer.
Everybody is.
Oh man, you my whole spot right here.
Sorry. I just seen like a little chick with a social media influencer going. He's all that. Well, you should be ready for that at all times. Don't let me kill you.
I'm still ready for it. You didn't. I meant the show. Not,
well, that's a given. That's a given.
Ruined it for everybody else.
You're arguing.
Well,
Craig, are you still here? Oh,
so Reagan, before we went to break, the mobsters, I seen this on your page, the cartel. Explain, elaborate. How did this happen?
So I need content. I constantly need content. A police officer is not going to pull me over every single day of my life and say I threw a gun underneath my seat, but I need to put a video out all the time. I grew up in Little Italy, in Chicago, the epicenter of the mob, not Taylor Street. Most people associate Little Italy with Taylor Street, but in the later years, Harlem Avenue became Little Italy. Joey the Clown Lombardo, who was, I believe, third on the FBI's most wanted, only behind Osama bin Laden and Ayman al-Zawahiri, number 1 and number 2 in Al-Qaeda. He was number 3 when he went on the run. His brother was my next door neighbor. Another block down is a place called The Compound. This book right here, Operation Family Secrets. Operation Family Secrets, how a mobster's son and the FBI brought down Chicago's murderous crime family. They lived a block away from me. I did an interview with this gentleman right here. That's Frank Calabrese Jr. That's his father, captain in the Chicago outfit, or at least had a crew in the Chicago outfit. And they were a murderous crew. They were the guys. Everybody does something. There's the money. They're the money crew. They were the murder crew. And then there, even to go on, if you ever watch America's Most Evil, they did a story on a guy named Mad Sam DeStefano, who was probably the most sadistic. I'm not talking about cartels. I'm talking about anywhere on the globe. The most sadistic gangster that's ever lived. There's a story about he got mad at his wife, so he went out and he pulled a gun on an African American who was walking, and he took him home and made his wife have sex with that man as punishment. He used to foam at the mouth and say satanic rituals. He killed his brother, and his other brother ended up killing him.
Wow.
So I had access to it, right? It's everybody loves the mob, and I got access to the mob. So why not? You know what I'm saying?
Did they open up on this show again? Can they see this all on your YouTube channel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the stuff's up there. Like I call it auditing the mob. I did a interview with Frank Calabrese. I haven't did the finale. The finale is going to be big. It's going to be a big. It's going to be the Sam Giancana. Who killed Sam Giancana? If everybody knows who Sam Giancana is, that's the guy that was allegedly involved with killing President Kennedy. The guy that dated Marilyn Monroe. I think Judith Campbell Exner. He dated a lot of the same people that President Kennedy did, and it was Chicago that got Kennedy the votes because Joseph Kennedy was a bootlegger, and they were supposed to take care of the mob after that. And Robert Kennedy, the younger
brother, the opposite,
and that pissed them off. So But the finale of me auditing the mob with Frank Calabrese Jr. He'll tell who really killed Sam Giancana, because Sam Giancana was about to testify in front of the Church Committee, which is a Senate committee about trying to kill Castro, right? Because CIA came to the Chicago outfit and offered $100,000 for them to kill Castro. Sam Giancana, and then the boss of Tampa Bay, Santo Traficante. There's a lot of Cubans down there. They said, keep your $100,000. We'll do it for free. So
Wow.
They want ties in with the government. You know, if you got the CIA on your side, you're pretty good. So, yeah.
Always a good thing. And then now cats out there in Illinois, are they looking at you once again as, are you showing up places? Are they giving you insights on things now that you're out there and they know you're there? Like, do people give you leads and, hey, man, look into this for us?
So listen, this is what I'll tell you, and I can't say everything. Just know, January 6th was the riots. There's a federal probe into something. Watch and see if that federal probe doesn't lead back to Chicago. I can't say too much about it, but there's a federal probe into something, a singular event. It doesn't take that much, you know, if you just do a little research and figure it out. It's a singular event that happened on January 6th.
Was that the Capitol when they were at the Capitol?
I'm sorry?
Is that the same date that they were at the Capitol?
Yeah, oh yeah, that was the day they rioted at the Capitol.
Okay, so it could possibly be that.
Well, it's an event that took place within there. If somebody might have got hurt or potentially lost their life.
It's going to go back to Chicago.
Potentially, I don't know. I'm just saying I do get information.
You're doing a lot of information and you're investigating it and you're seeing it come that direction. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I've gotten that information, and then there's things that's been happening in Chicago. Certain things have been happening that things have been getting shut down that have been up for decades, and we'll see. I will see if my contacts are right or wrong.
Can't wait to hear.
Go ahead.
What were you saying, Craig?
Can't wait to hear the results of the investigation.
Exactly. Now you put me a fucking nail biter like that. I'm like, what is it?
Yeah,
what do you think it is?
Talking about?
Come on, I want more information, Ray. You can't do that to us.
Well, I basically almost gave it to you. So I mean, if you think if you just play back what I said.
People say, Trump didn't tell people to go to the Capitol, so I can't interpret anything unless you fucking give it to me, right? I mean, some people are going to say, that's not what he said. Well, that is what he said. That's not what he said. He said this.
Well, there's only so many federal probes. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I read between the lines as well.
There's 20 million views. I've only been around for 16 months. It's unreal. Once you watch it, you'll get addicted. Disorderly Product News on YouTube, and I have a second channel called Disorderly Product News Presents the Cop-Arazzi.
The Cop-Arazzi.
Well, it's great information, man. Keep doing your due out there in Illinois, and hopefully you go nationwide with other cats that want to help out with Disorderly Product News and start filming it and putting it up there and letting people know what they should be doing when they do get pulled over by the police or on a traffic ticket.
Thank you guys for having me. This was a blast. Thank you so much.
No doubt.
Our pleasure, man. Our pleasure.
It's Cannabis Talk 101. Remember this. If no one else loves you, we do.
All right, guys.
Later, bud.
Later.
Take care. I like that, dude. It's cool.
There you go, guys. That's the end of part 2 in my interview with the Pop Brothers attorneys at law. Now, younger brother Mark wasn't there, but I have more content that's already been recorded coming out on Disorderly Product News with the Pop Brothers. And this time, specifically the younger Pop brother, Mark. My name is Disorderly Product News, wishing you and yours a very safe and happy rest of the work week. Good night.